Hi, I'm Prince Love live from planet Earth. You are watching Chixxflix. I hope you enjoy this show. Definitely a lot to talk about. We got Trump who's been out of office for well, not out of office, but he hasn't had a schedule in like 7 days. We haven't seen him in like 7 days. Today we finally see him Tuesday at 2. He was like 30 minutes late, and we see a very much guy that still looks sick. Doesn't look well still, in my opinion. And he's old. He's really old. Like, and we all thought it was weird when we weren't seeing him. And there are rumors, oh, he's not with us no more, if you know what I mean by that. But he's clearly, still with us. And, he did address us about a couple of things. And a reporter did ask him, like, hey, have you seen what's been going on online? Like, people were thinking that you weren't here with us, that you weren't alive. Um, and he definitely responded to that. So we're definitely going to talk about that too. We have to talk about Chicago because Trump wants to bring the National Guard, but the mayor is saying Brandon B. Johnson. He's saying no. He's saying no. He's saying like we don't need that. He's talking about immigrants again. It's like do these mayors like care about anybody more than immigrants? And he's black doing this. Chicago is black. Black is so it's like what are you doing? He's talking about immigrants. Oh, we don't have an immigrant problem. We have a guns problem. The guns are being brought in by red states. So now he's blaming the Chicago problem on Republicans, red states. Like, what's going on with that? No, you have a crime problem that you need to take care of, and you haven't been taking care of it. That's what you have. So we got to really talk about that because and a lot of it is car theft. A lot of it is burglaries. A lot of it is straight just murder. Like that's what a lot of it is. Address it. Do something about it instead of like going back and forth with Trump and like it's petty. He wouldn't have to bring the National Guard if you would just do your job, you know. But we definitely have to get into that a lot of that. I did want to just say something about the Cardi B thing because I don't know if y'all know, but she's been in court these past couple weeks, days, whatever, because of her getting into altercations with strippers and like women she just have problems with, like physically. And today she comes out of court, right? So Cardi B comes out of court, and a reporter she throws a pen at a reporter because the reporter asked, "Hey, Offset is on IG saying the baby might be his, or hinting that it is his. Do you think you're gonna have some paternity issues? As in, like, we don't know if the baby's Offset's or Stefan Diggs." So the reporter is asking that. She takes her pen and throws it at him, and it's like you just got out of court for stuff like that, for assault, for fighting, and you take your pen and you throw it at the reporter. It's like you can take the girl out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the girl. And like you really can't take the hood out of Cardi. Like you walked out of court, you're in front of the court, you take your pen and throw it at the reporter, all because he's asking like, hey, do we know if the baby is Offsets or Stefan Diggs? And she tells him like, you better have some manners, like, So I just thought that was funny. I just want to say that, but like, dude, you walked out of court, you just walked out of court, and you continue to do that. I don't know. It was I just like looking like, dude, like the decision she be making, like it's petty, But we gotta talk about that. We definitely gotta talk about our community. And Gavin, I don't know if y'all saw, but Gavin was on Twitter like reposting Charlemagne the God. And Charlemagne is a very much a Democrat, always votes Democrat. And it's like, dude, are we doing this again in 2028? Is the black community going to vote for another Democrat in 2028? I'm not saying we should vote Republican, but we damn sure should not vote Democrat. If anything, hold your vote. Hold your vote. Your vote has power. They only talk to you when they need your vote. Are we really going to vote for Gavin Newsom in 2028 for him to just not give us nothing? And didn't he veto reparations in his state, California? Like, didn't Gavin Newsom veto it? A bill that was going to be something like that was going to be passed um, for reparations. So it's like, why would we vote for Gavin? Well, we're going to get the. So in 2028, we vote for Gavin, and he just brings in more illegal immigrants. He doesn't go hard on crime, and that's it. Like, why would we be voting for Gavin Newsom? And you see, like Gavin Newsom reposting Charlemagne. It's like, bro, we're not. Are we really going to do this again? Like, they only want to talk to us when they need our vote. And when they don't talk to us, it's because they don't need us. But when they need our vote, they talk to us, right? So it's like, as a community, are we really? And remember, this past election, 90% of us voted Democrat again. So it's like, are we really going to do that again? And I'm not saying vote Republican. I don't think black people should vote Republican either. Republicans don't care about you either. Trump went in the White House, and the only thing he's done for us so far is make an area of black statues. What is that? You look at it for 5 minutes and you go away. That's it. Statues isn't going to help the black community, and that's what Trump has given us so far. His 7 months in. So it's like, what are we doing? Are we really like? No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. And like, you have Charlemagne. Like, this is why you can't listen to these older niggas. Like, you have Charlemagne. Like, eh, maybe he's gonna vote for Gavin in 2028. It's like, bro, what are we doing? Democrat or Republican, you shouldn't be voting for neither. Neither is helping you, and neither is listening to you. And at the same time, I hate to even say this, but if you're a Democrat or Republican, why would you take black people seriously if they're going to vote for you anyway? If you haven't been giving them reparations every presidency or helping their community in large number of ways like they do with everyone else, which is giving them money directly. Illegal immigrants got money directly. The Sioux, you know what Sioux rounds with, got money directly. White people, they get money directly. Elon Musk, he gets help directly. But when it comes to black people, it's like they don't want to help us directly. Nah, put some money in our pockets. We want our vote bought. We want our vote bought. What y'all give to white people and illegal immigrants, that's what we want as black people. We want our vote bought. Yes, give us some money directly. But when they come to us, it's a bunch of excuses about what they can't do. It's like, do we really want to hear that? No, we don't want to hear that. So it's like, no, we're not doing this in 2028. No, we're not voting Democrat. No, the black community is not voting Democrat in 2028. We're not going to vote for Republicans either. No, we're going to hold our vote until y'all come to us directly and say, hey, this is what you will be getting. You will be getting this in 2028. This is, if you want our vote, hey, we're going to buy it. This is what we're going to give to your community as a collective. Here you go. Yes, we want our vote bought. Put some money in our pocket. Do something with our communities. Fund us. We want funding. All this like just voting Democrat just because you think Republicans are racist or you think like, no, neither of them should be getting our vote unless we're getting tangibles. We want tangibles. We want funding. You know how you put illegal immigrants into nice hotels and you always make sure you give these white billionaires money? That's what we want for our community in the black community. We want that funding. Like, we're not doing this in 2028. We're not doing the Gavin Newsom thing. We're not doing the JD Vance thing either. How is JD Vance going to be any different than Trump in 2028? They're the same thing. How is JD Vance going to be any different than Trump in 2028? I don't see how he's going to be different. Pushing this AI thing, war with Iran, not addressing issues directly, horrible economy, illegal immigrants everywhere. How is JD going to be any different? So no, we won't be voting JD either, and we damn sure not voting for Gavin just because he's a Democrat. No, give us funding. So it's like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that as a community, and we already have little resources. We're not going to give away the one thing that they care about, which is our vote. It needs to change now because these older niggas, they're going to keep voting Democrat no matter what. Us as Gen Z black people, we need to change that. Hey, we're not getting our vote unless we get tangibles. You're not getting our vote unless we get funding. You're not getting our vote. We're not doing this in 2028 and so on and so on and so on. Even in this past election, there was a lot less people as a whole, regardless of race, that voted, which they don't tell you about. But anyway, so Trump's been missing for like 7 days now. We finally, and like his ankles are swollen. He has a blue rash on his hand. We finally see him, and by the way, what he has is something called apparently he has something called, let me see. He has something called chronic venous deficiency, which is like the veins are unable to efficiently return blood to the heart. leading to issues like leg swelling and skin changes. So that's what Trump has. Like that's why his ankles are swollen, and that's why like he has a blue rash on his hand because he has that um deficiency, that chronic yeah. So that's what he has. It's like okay, cool. We haven't seen him. Then he finally comes out at 2 o'clock today. He was like 30 minutes late, and he's talking about and by the way, it was for like something. Let me see. It was for he's like moving some space thing. Like yeah, he announced that he's moving the U.S. Space Commander headquarters to Huntsville, Alabama. So he announced that, and it's like okay, cool. A reporter asked him, "Hey, what about?" A reporter asked Trump, "Hey, have you heard that we all thought you weren't alive?" And on Twitter, and Trump goes, "Nah, he hasn't heard about anything about that." And oh, if it was Biden, like Biden's been gone for months, like would you have said anything? And it's like, dude, you're both old. Like you're both old. You're both, on your way out. And it's like we don't need to be talking about Biden. We need to be talking about what you're going to be doing and how you will change life for regular people every day. You do enough for the billionaires. You do enough for the Sues. If you know what that word rhymes with SEW Sues. If you do enough for them, what are you going to do for the regular people? Like, what are you going to do? You're already not doing mass deportations. We don't want to hear about Biden. And even the pictures they shown of him yesterday, they took of him, where he didn't allow people on the Mar-a-Lago. He didn't allow um any cameras really close to him. So we got photos of Trump from far away, and he just still looks sick, dude. Like he's old. He's sick. He's old. Like you know what? I'm tired. I'm tired of worrying about the president's physical health. Like we have to worry about Biden's physical health. Now we got to worry about Trump's physical health, and it makes you think. Like, it, recently in an interview, JD Vance said, he's ready to step in if anything happens to Trump. And it's like, it makes you think, is that the plan? Like, Trump, like, either the Epstein files make it to where Trump gets impeached, or like, he just kicks the bucket because of the sickness, chronic illness he has with the swelling and the rash on the hand. And then JD Vance gets put in because that's how they want it. Like the people in the background, the controls in the background. Is that the plan for JD Vance to step in if Trump either gets taken out with the Epstein files or taken out because of his sickness? Is that the plan to have JD Vance step in, and then it's JD Vance in the office? It just makes you wonder, like, you know, things might not be um, put in stone yet, but it just makes you wonder: is that the plan to have JD Vance replace Trump because of either his illness or because of the Epstein files coming out finally, and it has no choice but to get impeached because it's so bad? Makes you wonder. Like it makes you just look and wonder, like what's gonna happen? Like we'll see what happens, but I mean, it's bad. Like it's not good. It's not good at all. You're just looking and you're just like, okay, this is weird. He looks very sick. Doesn't look well. You know. Um, we'll see what happens, but it doesn't look well. It doesn't look good at all. Doesn't look good at all. Um, yeah, and we still got this war, and we still got this war in Ukraine. We still got this thing with Iran. All these problems of an economy that's just keep going down. Like it's just you're looking at it and like things don't look too good right now. You know, I will say that like MAGA will go down as one of like the greatest scams for white America. You know, one of the greatest scams. Like talking so much ish before he got elected. Once he got in that seat, it's like F y'all. Didn't he tell them he literally didn't need their vote? He literally told them that. He literally told them that. Oh, if you're worried about the Epstein files, I don't need your vote. That's what he told MAGA. Like MAGA will definitely be one of the biggest like just scams ever and just like tricks pulled. Like, you know, that's what it seems like because nothing good is happening. You're not getting anything. What is anyone getting? The only people winning really is the billionaires, man. They always win. They always just get more and more and more. Everybody else, you're just here to fend for yourself. It's just like the only thing so far that I even kind of like is what Trump's doing with the Washington D.C., Chicago, like how he's bringing the National Guard in. That's probably the only thing I like so far out of the 7 months Trump's been in office. Like bringing the National Guard to D.C. Crime really did drop. You know, crime really did drop. Like when he did that. Um, I can get like some statistics for y'all right now. Uh, like when you got eight, like just over the past weekend, when you got 8 people pew pewed and no life after that, but 50 others wounded in across 37 shootings in the city of Chicago. When you have that, you're like, yo, please bring the National Guard, and you have that. You have black people in Chicago saying, Trump, please bring in the National Guard. Do for us what you did for Washington D.C. Because when he brought the National Guard to Washington D.C., the crime fell there too. Burglaries fell. Um, Carjackings fell. Homicides fell. Right. So when he did that, it really did do something, right? Like so, and that's what I mean. Like when you have like um right, like when Trump brought the National Guard to D.C., carjackings went down 87%, burglaries down 47%, homicides down 38%. Like CBS reported burglaries down 48%, car thefts 36%. Like violent crime decreased by 50%, and that's all with the National Guard being brought in for 3 weeks, right? Imagine what he could do for Chicago. And there are black people saying, "Hey, we want you to come to Chicago. Please bring the National Guard." There was a black guy on video saying how, "Yeah, bring them so I can walk around with my chains." Like you can't even walk around with your chains, right? Because there's so much crime. It's like, do you really want to depend on the mayor of Chicago? No, bring in the National Guard into Chicago. Bring in the National Guard into Washington D.C. so that way this crime can go down and we can address the other problems after. But right now you need direct action, and that would be great. Bring in the National Guard. That's what I would do. Bring in the National Guard to Chicago, Washington D.C. And there are black people on video saying, "Hey, yes, come. We want you to come." And I forgot what poll it was, but there was a poll taken that black people actually do want more police in our cities. We actually do want that. Everyone's sick of it. Everyone's sick of the crime. Everyone's sick of their car getting jacked. Everyone's sick of you're getting robbed. Everyone's sick of the violent crime, right? So, it's not just men in these cities, it's women, it's children. You don't want your daughter to go to the store and something happens to her or she's driving and someone tries to rob her. Like you don't want that. So even black people are saying, yes, Trump, bring in the National Guard to Chicago. Do what you did for Chicago, just like you did for Washington, D.C. Do what you did for Washington, D.C. Do it that for Chicago. Even black people are saying that. So it's like, yeah, we want that. And like the Chicago mayor, Brandon, like Johnson, like he's not getting it. He's just not getting it. That's probably the only thing I like so far about what Trump has in mind, like that he's doing. That's probably the only thing that's nice. But even that is for like a city, 2 cities, while Washington D.C. and Chicago. That's cool, but that doesn't help the collective of us as Black people. I wish we got direct funding. A lot of us don't have disposable income. You're trying to scrape by and survive. You know what I'm saying? Like so, it's just like you want things to change. You want things to change. And especially like I talk about like if we got really even deeper into it, especially with us Black men, like we can make these cities and like these that we're in predominantly, we can make them amazing. But it's just like I don't know what's going on. But like Black men just at times don't want to do better at times. You know? Most Black men don't most Black men have no value. Most Black men don't have their own apartment, their own house. Most black men don't have their own apartment, their own house. Most black men don't have their own car. Most black men are not in their children's lives. Most black men have baby mamas and no wives. You know, 1 in 3 black men have felonies. It's just like we got to get it together. We have to do better. We can create heaven in Black America if we just did better, but it's not going to get better if y'all just doing anything. If you're just going to get 2, 3 women pregnant and not take care of them, then yes, they're going to grow up without a father, and they're probably going to grow up to be nothing. You're not even leaving them anything. When black men have these kids, they don't even have nothing to leave the children when they go and pass. They're not even leaving the kids anything. So it's like, what are we doing here? Why do you need 2, 3 baby mamas as a black man? You shouldn't even have that. You should have a wife. Be there for your kids in the same home. Why do black children not deserve the father and the mom in the same home? Like it's just that, and it's like we don't have enough resources to be squandering like that. Like, I don't feel bad for any guy that's on child support. You deserve to be on child support. Why are you and your baby mama not even together? Why is that a thing? Why did you get somebody pregnant who you're not married to, or you have um no maybe contract to be in the child's life if y'all break up to where she's taken care of and you're not on child support? Why isn't that a thing? You know, it's like it's bad, and it's like we blame black women for the 70% single mother household in the black community, but like it's really black men that should be getting blamed. They leave, they're absent. They're not only absent here, but they're absent on the continent. Black men leave, they're absent, they're not around. They don't have the urge to take care of their kids or to be around their kids or to have a family. Like, and one of the problems reasons for that is because we're not taught that. you know a lot of black men just don't, just like the men before them and the men after them that they create, they don't have their father in their life, so the cycle just keeps continuing, continuing, and continuing. We blame black women, but it's really black men. Black men leave, they're absent, they're not in their children's life. They could be in every single one of their children's lives if they take that black woman to court or they did something like that, but they're not doing that. So it's like you have these problems where it could just easily be solved. And if you know you don't want kids and you know you don't want to be in your kid's life, then don't have any kids. Why are you finishing in this woman raw? Why are you doing that? You know, it's so many things that could easily be solved if we just did it the right way. You know, it's just like, what the hell, man? Like, we gotta change our mindset. We just have to. You know, it's just sad. It's just sad. Like, we don't have time to fight each other. You know, when you get a black woman pregnant and you just decide not to be there, you're putting her in a position where she's going to be even broker than she was before, and it's going to be hard for her to build herself when you do that. You don't have nothing, she don't have nothing. Now there's a kid. Yeah, she's going to be even more broke. She's probably going to put you on child support, so you're going to be even more broke. The kid's not going to have the dad in the life. The mom's going to be single, right? And it's just like it works out not good for anyone involved in that equation. There's no excuses as black men to not be in your kid's life. You can take that woman to court and file for 50% custody. Something, do something, nigga. Like, do something. There's no excuses to not be in your child's life. But it's just sad. It's just sad. And it's just like it can be easily changed, easily solved if you just did it right. We don't have that much resources at the very moment and to be doing what we're doing. You know, it's just it's like, and like I even talked about the continent. There's like, and even with black men, like there's even like there's black immigrants coming to America telling us what we need to do. We damn sure don't need to be hearing from y'all. We don't need your advice on what to do in Black America. We don't need black immigrants coming to America and telling black Americans what to do. We don't need that. We don't. Go back to wherever you were born and fix that up. Go fix Kenya up, Nigeria, Ghana. Go fix those places up. We don't need you in America telling us as black Americans what to do. You see that Jubilee episode with Amanda Seals and all the black immigrants, as illegal black immigrants telling us what to do. like their countries are amazing. There's a reason you're in America. It's because your country sucks. They come here and tell us what to do. We don't need you to tell us what to do. And you see them being plopped up by white conservatives because they're coons. Black immigrants come here and they be coons for white people, so white people plop them up. It's annoying. I can name like several people like that right now. I just won't, but I could. We already got a Candace Owens. We already got a Brandon B. Tatum. We don't need black immigrants coming here and cooning for white people and then telling black Americans what they should be doing when your own countries aren't even doing that good. We don't need that. So it's just stuff like that. Just stuff like that. It's just stuff like that. It's just bad. And everything's not bad. Of course, there's some good. There's people like me waking up. There's people like I'm sure there's other black men waking up and saying, hey, we're not going to do this. I'm sure there's other black men waking up and saying, hey, we're not going to do this single mother thing. We're going to actually marry the woman we get pregnant, or not get anyone pregnant at all. We're not going to put the community more in poverty and do that. There's plenty of black men waking up and deciding not to do that, like the men before us that did do that, that didn't do that actually. Um, so it's just so much that could be done and should be done. You know, it's just so much. What else did I want to get into? Did I have anything else to say? Oh, before I even continue, hey, make sure you're follow me on Facebook, follow me on TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, subscribe on YouTube. It's all Prince Dear Love. It's all Prince Dear Love, all of it. As you guys know, I always go live 9 or 10 p.m. on YouTube, so everyone has YouTube on their phone, so you should be able to tune in, say your piece, share the video, all that good stuff. Like the video. Um, yeah, we you all should do that. All should do that. I want to get into anything else though before I go. Anything else was on my mind. Hmm. Anything else on my mind? Even the Shallow Hendrix. I don't know if you guys seen this. Like you got like, and this is why like I don't look at the negative birth rate as like a bad thing. Even in Japan, they have a negative birth rate, but I don't got a problem with Japanese. But you see white people like defending Shallow Hendrix and saying she should have the right to call that 12-year-old the N word. It's like, yeah, we know she has that right, but should she do it? No, you shouldn't do that. You got white people defending that. It's like, you know what? F you, take this negative birth rate. You take this negative birth rate, bye. Go, leave. We don't need y'all. Bye. Go away. Cool. Whoever want to be a racist and defend Shallow Hendrix, go away. We don't need y'all. They're like defending a white woman calling a 12-year-old the N word. They're like literally Matt Walsh's of the world are defending it and like advocating for it. The Mark Dices of the world advocating for it. It's like, why do you need a grown woman in a park calling a 12-year-old the N word all because he was about to try to like steal something out of her diaper bag or whatever? Kids being kids, right? It's foolish to do, but kids being kids. You then get it back and you call him the N word. It's like that's what y'all defending, and that's why we can't be on the right as black people because it's a hate group. It's a hate group that's literally it's self destroying itself too, as you can see with MAGA right now, not even having any wins 7 months in. It's just self defeating, self hate. It's just hateful. It's just that's why you have a negative birth rate. That's why white women aren't having babies. It's because y'all are just so hateful. Y'all like you're defending this. You're advocating for a white woman calling a kid the N word. That's what we're doing. It's like white men are doing everything but addressing white women grievances. The economy sucks. Nobody can afford anything. Bills, tax on everything. White men are doing everything but addressing white women's grievances, and that's exactly why I have a negative birth rate. That right there, doing everything, worrying about Cracker Barrel, like oh they changed the logo. Do you see that they're changing the logo? Yeah, they're doing that to adjust with the times. And then yeah, that's what they're doing it for, to adjust with the times. That logo sucks that they have right now. The new one looks a little decenter. They're doing that to getting a better audience, a younger audience. You got these old white supremacists, or you got these old white men, Mark Dice, Matt Walsh, they're like, oh, they're changing the logo of Cracker Barrel. Yeah, they're doing that to adjust with the times, to get a newer, younger audience. Y'all are old as hell. Like, instead of worrying about Cracker Barrel and worrying about Shiloh Hendrix calling a 12-year-old the N word, her being a racist, how about you address white women's grievances and help them, and maybe influence the economy to, or the government? Y'all have institutional power. Do something to address the economy, the bills, the taxes, groceries. Do something instead of like online, like, what? What are we doing? And it's like that right there is why you have a negative birth rate, and you will continue to have a negative birth rate. White people want all these immigrants to leave. They want all these immigrants to go. It's like y'all are the ones leaving. Y'all have a negative birth rate. This country is about to be even browner and browner and browner. Y'all have a negative birth rate. White women aren't having kids right now, so the country is getting browner and browner and browner. And it's not just happening here in the US, it's happening in Poland, the UK, the continent of Europe. It's happening. It's happening as a whole, the continent of Europe as a whole. White women are choosing to not have kids because the economy sucks, groceries are too much, taxes are, you're getting taxed on everything, nobody can afford a house. White women don't want to just get themselves up by their bootstraps. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to work hard as hell. Nobody wants to do that, and especially women as a whole. Not even just white women, but every woman. Nobody wants to do that. So you're going to keep getting a negative birth rate because of this. Instead of telling us, "Oh, get yourselves up by your bootstraps," like anybody, like that doesn't even sound attractive. Nobody wants to do that for the rest of their lives. So you're going to keep having a negative birth rate, and you deserve it. Okay, white men, you deserve this negative birth rate since you don't want to address the grievances of your women, the taxes, the bills, the groceries being high out of this world, the inflation. All you want to do is worry about Cracker Barrel logos and Shiloh Hendrix disgusting self. So cool, hold this negative birth rate. At the end of this, there'll be like 200 million white people left, all because y'all don't want to address these more important things. The Mark Dices, the Matt Walshes, looking so stupid. Anyway, I've said a lot today. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. I think it's the end of the show though. I gotta go. But yeah, I think it was a good show. What I gave you guys 30 minutes. I'm gonna start giving you guys longer times. I just don't be doing it because the show isn't as big as I want it to be right now. So I will do it when it gets a little bigger. So that's why you gotta share, you gotta like the video, all that good stuff. All that good stuff. Subscribe and we'll talk about it. Talk more about more stuff tomorrow. I might go live 10 p.m. So make sure to have your notification bells on YouTube because they don't be notifying y'all sometimes. So put your notification bell on. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Prince Dear Love live from planet Earth.